I have known Joan Englund for almost 30 years. I met her as a new young graduate of Ohio State Law School. She was an associate at Arter and Haddon, the law firm that we were both at, and I was a trial partner in need of help on several serious cases that were going to trial. And I hit the lottery. Joan helped me on those cases, and she was amazing. We became great friends, and the only promise as I got to know her, I saw that her real passion was helping people.
89 or 1990, Joan was looking for a job. She decided that she could no longer work for this wonderful law firm and do what she had to do to maintain that employment. She really wasn't hard a social worker, she thought. And I was desperate to find somebody to work development, so I decided she was smart enough, we'd make this thing work. I would take her on as development, and she would take me on as God knows what. And indeed it worked, and Joan has been with me in some way or another ever since then.
In the early 2000s, I was president and CEO of the Center for Families and Children. And I got a call one day from Judy Peters and Ralph Fee. And they asked me if I would form and to chair a mental health advocacy coalition. That will bring together people from all different sectors, and not just the mental health and addiction community, but those who are affected by it, to advocate for social and public policy change.
What we had a clear concept of was what we need, why we were needed, and what the mission would be.
And then we began to interview for an executive director. There were a lot of people interested and a lot of talented people, but there was one person who clearly stood out from the crowd, and that was Joan Englund.
At that time, 16 years ago, we decided to hire Joan in that position. She sat down, began writing white papers and green papers and yellow papers. Joan writes a lot. It's remarkable watching her start this agency from nothing. And Lee and I would say to each other, how do we find her? Where'd we get this woman?
But I don't think I could have guessed that by now it would become a statewide coalition and a national model. That's due to Joan Englund.
Never has our society been in more need in terms of addiction, mental health, and with this opiate epidemic, Joan she's literally been on the front lines of this.
And because of what she's done, she's actually taken mental health and addiction services fundings to new levels.
It's been an incredible relationship to watch her grow from less than a social worker, as she says about herself, to finally becoming a woman of strength. And in this year, it's just amazing, amazing, amazing growth.
Joan, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was hiring you as the executive director of the newly formed Mental Health Advocacy Coalition. Today we're honoring you, but you understand perhaps better than anyone else in the room that the most important word in the English language is not me or you, it's we. And because of what you've done, you've brought people together. And that we has changed the life of many, many people that none of us will ever meet. But I guarantee you, you've left a lasting legacy that many, many people will remember for years and years to come.